Webinar is now streaming live on Facebook.
Wow, check it out. So it's just saying redirecting to Facebook Live for me this end. So I'll just wait until we see this come up, and it looks like we are going live. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. I just need to update my PC here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I just got the notification.
Slow at this end.
I think you're gonna, I think your Facebook might be open and you might want to close that because right now you have a static feedback thing going and I can't hear you audibly what you're saying. So if you have Facebook open, you might want to close that. And I know you're live because I just checked and you're live on my system.
Great, okay.
Okay, there, I can hear you better now.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so it looks like we're live.
Yes.
Fantastic. Good morning. So just a little introduction for the people at home and the people watching. So I'm just going to give people an overview of what it is that we're doing here today. So my name is Steve Carr. I am the Director of Confidence Coaching, and I help people find their motivation. I inspire them, increase their self-esteem, and generally make them feel a little bit better about themselves. So this morning we've got a special guest come in, and we've got Naima Singletary. And good morning, Naima. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. I'm so delighted to be here with you. Thank you for being here on a Sunday.
Yes. We're up bright and early, and it's great to have you here, and it's great to have so many people join us. Just before we get going, Naima, I just want to give people a little bit more of a background as to who you are. So you're the founder of Opulent Living. You're currently living in Paris and from San Francisco.
Correct.
You've got a massively powerful story from having just $7 to your name and now having a multiple six-figure coaching business and helping other women cultivate and use their sexual and money manifestation powers. Naima, over to you. Can you tell us a little bit more about you, what it is you do, and why it is that you're here today with us?
Yes, I love the way you and then sent it over this way. And, you know, I've been doing a lot of these interviews, Steve, and I feel we're going to be here for about 30 minutes, and I feel like it's not enough. So I want everyone watching here to know that if you're like me and you like touch, you know, face to face, you like being in person, and you resonate with me, then you want to come to our event, which is happening in London, August 8th, the More Than Enough Money event. And Steve will put the link to that event with this video. And I'll just give it to you right now. It's morethanenoughmoneytour.com. That's for people who are watching this, who are impatient and are like, get to the goddamn point. What I'm sharing here today is the beginning of what we'll be going deeper into at that event. So yes, one of my many stories is a few years ago, I was living with my mother because I was a coach and I was struggling because 1, I was stubborn. 2, I didn't know what I didn't know. And 3, I was doing all the things that most coaches do, all the ones that are at the bottom who are struggling, which is what we do. We work hard. We really care about people and we want to help people. So we do help a lot of people. And we are doing what we know to do. But the problem is most of us don't know how to make money. We don't know how to trade our value for money. So what it ends up doing is we end up helping a ton of people, going to a ton of networking events, speaking a ton, having tons of conversations, doing all the right things, but we never create the money because most of us have a terrible relationship with money. Terrible. And it's common thinking. Like if you talk to the average person, you will hear that typical conversation around money. So whether a person is an attorney, a coach, any field, if you have a poor relationship with money, all you're going to do is bring that attitude into your work. And so that's what happened with me. And that's why I was living with my mother, even though I was working hard and doing all the right things, and really fell into a deep depression, because it's like, I felt at the time, like, how could I be so smart and competent and hardworking and willing and not have a bank account that reflects how hard I work and how much I care? And what I didn't realize, and what I figured out after like asking and searching and searching and searching, is that all of us have a money story, and all of us have a relationship with money. So I hired a money coach, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I know it's cliche, but it's very true.
Very, yeah.
And there was, she facilitated me through an exercise that revolutionized my relationship with money and my understanding of what seemed to be this wall I will push up against as it related to money. And this is the exact same exercise that I'm going to facilitate every woman through who comes to the More Than Enough Money event. And this is really for you if you recognize that you seem to be working too hard for too little. If you seem to always be saying things like, I can't afford it. I can't. If your way of living in the world is, instead of looking at what you actually want, you're instead looking at the price tag first, or your bank account first, to determine what you're going to buy. And if you're just overall unhappy with your financial reality, then the More Than Enough Money event is a great place to come. So once I did this exercise and then dedicated myself, because this is a dedication, it's not like one exercise changed my life permanently. What it did is it opened the door to the fact that I had so much more control over my finances than I realized, and my ability to create money, receive money, and do it over and over and over again, which is what I teach my clients to do. And that is what has allowed me to create a multiple six-figure coaching business, live here in Paris, been here for 7 months. Before here, I was living in Italy over a year, and I'm able to fund this lifestyle because I've transformed my relationship with money. And for every other woman who's watching right now, I want her to know she can do it too. And I'm thrilled to show her how to do that at the More Than Enough Money event in London, August 8th.
I think that's fantastic. And I think many people will resonate with that, Naima. And I think it's those limiting beliefs that keep people back from being so much more and thinking that they can't actually earn the money that they rightfully deserve. There's so many people with great information and people like yourself willing to share this process of showing people, stepping into their power and saying, well, actually, it's only your limiting beliefs that are keeping you back from being so much more. Would you agree?
It's always that. I was just talking with an attorney. Yes, it's always that. And I was just like, God, how do I really wish I had a way to just saturate the whole world with the understanding that we have so much power than we realize. I was sitting with, anyway, I'll let you ask me whatever questions, but the answer to your question is yes, it is a limiting belief thing. And we have the power to transform it. At the end of the day, so what? Like, where fear is a real thing. It exists on this planet, and we have the power to transform it if we're dedicated to transforming it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that becomes apparent. For me, it was very apparent when I lost everything. And I realized by losing everything, I was at that point where then I could start to gain everything back.
Yeah.
And when you start to lose that fear, when you think, well, actually, life goes on. Life goes on. Okay, I might have lost everything, but you know what? This is a fantastic place to start, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got a clean sheet, start again. New mindset, create that new mindset for wealth. Why not? It's there. Like you say, when you step into that power and you realize how powerful you are, anything can be achievable.
When women, people, not just women, but people, when I really got this, because me too, Steve, when I was living with my mother and was in this depressed state, just pathetic, it's like everything that's true reveals itself. At least that's what happened for me. Everything that's true reveals itself. And it's like, I was able to see how enormously powerful I was. And so I was humbled, I was grateful, I was emboldened in a whole new way. And so I know everybody is not going to go to the places you and I went, right? To this like rock bottom, but many people have. And the reality for every single human being is that we are so much more powerful than we realize. And when we get around people who fuel that, and have plans and have a heart and are convicted about lifting the thing that they feel impelled to do, that's when you change the world, your world, and then other people's world. So I'm dedicated to doing this, really helping women step into their power with money and become full, whole women. And money is one way of doing this. And a great place to start is the More Than Enough Money event.
Great. And this is in August the 8th in London, isn't it?
Exactly.
Fantastic. I think you're going to get so many people, so many women come along. So why is it that you wanted to solely just focus on women?
Yeah, it wasn't even like, oh, I only want to work with women. It just was the thing. When I first started coaching, that's who was coming to me. And then when I realized that that's what was happening, that's when I declared it officially. But it's been a very natural thing. When I first started in 2011, that's who was coming to me. Women, women, women. And I just declared it. And I love it. And I want to say, I'm telling you, in this last month, especially with us promoting this event, this More Than Enough Money event, we have had so many men who have wanted to come, who have expressed some kind of support. And so we're looking at what we're going to do next and if we're going to allow those men to participate. So if you're a man watching this now, I encourage you to send me a friend request. So when and if we start promoting for men to attend, you'll be notified.
I think you've already got one there in line waiting to come along, and that will be myself. So I will have to actively promote this with you. I think, to step into that power, and I'm coming to the realization myself now that I'm more powerful than I can ever imagine. And it was the divine that brought us together, I believe, to work together and speak this morning, and me for really stepping into my power an awful lot more by being inspired by people like yourself. And so I'm going to go back on what you said there a moment ago, which was surrounding yourself with the right people will elevate you further than what you can ever imagine, because they're all in the same mindset. And it's stepping into that power to say, these guys will actively encourage me to be more. And this is what you do, and this is the beauty of it. And I can see this will help so many people step into their power and have that realization it can be done.
Yeah, I'm from San Francisco, and when I first came into the coaching space, I used to be in a lot of the networking circles in the Bay Area, where basically it was a bunch of women gathering, but nobody was wanting to go where I wanted to go, which was to live the life of my dreams. And a woman, to live the life of your dreams is a whole other world. It's a whole other way of thinking and being. And so I had to leave those circles and go find people who were unapologetic about living the life of their dreams. Because when you have people who are nurturing the thing that you want to do, because they're doing it too, and they get it, they understand the process of going from where you are to elevating, and the difficulties and the fears and the everything in between, because you're going to go through it. It's the price that you pay to live the life of your dreams. When you have that, it changes everything. And for me, it took me so long to even make six figures, because for a long time I was trying to do it by myself, or I wasn't really taking the coaching that was being given to me. And so I've been in the coaching space since 2011, and I just hit multiple six figures 2 years ago. I mean, you should be able to hit six figures if you're on it. You can do that in 2 years, maybe 3, you know what I'm saying? And it took me so long because I was stubborn. I was, didn't know what I didn't know. When you're ignorant and you're just working hard and you think all it takes is working hard and helping people, it's not enough. It's not enough. And so you got to get that mind together. And that's a big part of what the More Than Enough Money event is about. It's going on the inside. Actually, that's 90% of what we'll be doing is the inner game stuff, and helping women do what they need to do on the outside, and then using our physiology to step into it in a physical way. But it's necessary, and it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer when you are with the people and you have the mind and you know what you want, and then you go for it unapologetically. you're going to stand out. I mean, my clients are making $10,000, $15,000 a month consistently now. And before they came to me, they were trying to squeeze a bunch of transformation into barely $5,000 packages or working at an hourly rate, which is a terrible business model. And so it's a game changer. And so for women who are ready to transform their relationship with money, I don't know any other woman in London who's helping women do what I'm helping them do.
Well, we're very grateful for you coming across to be able to show people how to do this. I think you were right with you say you have to look inside first of all. You have to look and see, you know, where your blockages are. But as soon as you're honest with yourself, as soon as you can be completely honest and let all that crap go that, you know, that is keeping you back. But I think one of the hardest points to start with is, where do you start?
Yeah.
And that is what most people find difficult. Where do you start? So personal development for me has allowed me to connect with you and connect with other like-minded people. And we put messages like this out all the time. You know, you can have this abundant lifestyle, and you can have as much money as you welcome into your life. Mm-hmm. But personal development was a starting block for me. So would you say having a coach or somebody to help you with personal development is paramount to your progression?
Paramount. It's necessary. I don't know anybody who's winning in life without a coach. And when I say winning, I mean making the money they want to make, or even if you're not totally there, but you're on the rise. I don't know anybody who's on the rise in a real way, in a sustainable way in the whole world, not just the US, not just London, but I don't know anybody who's winning in life and who doesn't have some kind of coach, mentor, some kind of community or a single person who's supporting them on the path. So yes, it is paramount, but what's more paramount than that is your commitment to making it happen. You, the viewer. If the reason why I was able to get to where I am is because I decided I was going to do that. It wasn't, I didn't say, oh, I hope. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to try my best. I didn't say, oh, we'll see. You know, there was none of that. It's like, I am going to do this. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get help. And not only am I going to get help, I'm going to listen to the people who help me, try and see what works, what doesn't, you know, and really give my whole self to this. And that's the difference between the women who I see who are winning and the women who are struggling and alone and depressed and, you know, trying to shame other women for their dreams, is that they haven't decided, because the decision changes it. I have clients who come to me, and in the beginning of our coaching, they're like, well, I would like to make, like even one of my clients in the UK right now, her goal was 8,000 pounds in a month. And she's like, I asked her, what's her goal? She said, well, I would like to do 8,000 pounds. That's what she said. I would like to do 8,000 pounds. I said, well, have you decided you're going to create 8,000 pounds in your business? She said, well, I would like to. Now this is a nuanced thing that I do in my coaching. Most people don't recognize this. They think that they say, I'll try, we'll see, and they think that's enough. No, it has to be a declarative, I will create 8,000 pounds in my business. So we went back and forth doing this for about 5 minutes. And I said to her, I said, do you see what's happening right here in this conversation? And she paused and she's like, yes. And I said, so have you decided you're going to do 8,000 pounds? And then that's when we got into the real conversation of, oh, I'm afraid to declare it. I'm afraid to declare. What if, you know, and all of her fears came up. And you want your fears to come up because as long as it's quiet and it's just back there, it's controlling you. But as soon as you give voice to it, and you say, this is what I'm afraid of, this is right, then I can coach you through it. Then, like, because shame can only work in the dark. As soon as you bring that fear and shame to the light, boom, it disappears. And that's the value of having a coach or somebody who is ahead of you, who's helping you, because it transforms when you get to say it to somebody who really gets it and can support you to the next level. So boom, she got it out there, what her fears and concerns were. What if this, what if that, how about this, how, blah, blah, blah. We worked through all of it. By the end of that call, she made the decision that she was going to reach her goal. And in 10 days, she made 5,700 pounds. 10 days. She made 5,700 pounds. She's going to be at the event on the 8th, by the way, so you'll get a chance to meet her, and I'll let her share her story with you guys. But she's such an inspiration. She's a single mom. She's been following me for, I want to say, like 2 years, and she finally said, I'm, tired of this. I'm ready to make it happen. And I look forward to you meeting her. It's going to be a great thing. So this is what's possible when we have the support, we're in community, and we make the decision that we're going to make the money, not hope and try, and we'll see if we make the money.
Absolutely, and that's a fantastically powerful story. And I think that's with most things in life, isn't it? You can think about something, and the chances are nothing will happen. You have to do something. You have to put yourself out there, like you say quite rightly, and I say this to my coaching clients. You have to go and do something. You have to make, even if it's just the smallest of action, commit to it, do it, start it. So I'm going to be honest with our viewers this morning. I've never given an interview before or interviewed somebody before in my life. And so you are my first interviewee. And so for me, I was worried.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was worried before this would happen. And I thought the only way to up my game is to do it. Step out of that comfort zone. Yes, I'm shit scared, absolutely. But here's the thing: when I do this, the next time I know that I've done it before and I've survived. And I think that's something really powerful to share with everyone. As soon as you confront those fears, you know you've done it. Here comes your confidence, emotion. Here comes your self-esteem, and everything starts to step up. Now, that also takes you in line with other people that are stepping up, and they will encourage you, actively encourage you to do more and more and more. And that's evident in what you do. And that's really powerful. So I would imagine now a lot of people are going, hang on a minute, I'm really interested in know what you do. As soon as you mention those figures and say that we could have this, that it is possible, I'm sure that there are going to be many people that want to come along and meet you and the other inspiring ladies to do what they do. So I'm just going to ask you another question. Do you have routines or strategies that you use every day to keep you motivated? Because like we were saying, it is about stepping up, coming forwards. And I know there are days that can be very, very difficult. Do you use your coaches or do you use strategies to keep you focused?
So yeah, I have mine, and they're very feminine. You know, this is a whole other conversation I'm going to just speak a little bit about, but this is a much deeper, richer conversation. And I'm going to be talking more about it in different ways at the event. But in the world of business, it's been male dominated for centuries. You know, every woman entrepreneur sees this, feels it, where it's all about go, 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 hustle harder, do more, right? This kind of aggression, masculine, forceful kind of way of doing business. And that you have to be consumed and focused every single minute to get it done. And that was me once upon a time. So I know what it looks like to be in what they call man mode and trying to build a business. And what I also know is that it doesn't work sustainably. Women, we burn out because it's not our way. We become cranky and oftentimes want to quit and get discouraged because we're trying to do things in an aggressive, masculine way, and it doesn't work for us. So some of my masculines for not only doing business, but to stay connected to my vision, because I have a very compelling vision, which that alone moves me. But some of the things I do to support me throughout the day when perhaps I'm just feeling icky or, I'm just feeling kind of like or whatever, is laying down. It's amazing how much creativity and inspiration and space and breath I feel when I just lay down in the middle of the day. I can lay down on the couch. I can just sit on the floor and lay on my back or anything. So that's a strategy for me, if you will, right? My strategies are very feminine. Going for a walk, that's a strategy for me. I live here in Paris, and there's a plethora of really cool cafes just within minutes of where I live. So I love to just go out and sit at a cafe and have some tea or have some other beverage and just enjoy that. And going back to my vision, like literally sitting down, and this is another thing that's really important for you to be sustainable and fulfilled, is to have a vision. If you're just working because whatever, right? There's nothing compelling you. You'll I want to say it's kind of like a metaphorically die, so to speak. But one thing that really gets me going is when I just sit down and I envision my chateau in France, and I envision people coming from all over the world to have these transformational experiences, and children coming and running around our gardens and having our land being catered to and loved, and having the sun like when I envision these things, it compels me more than anything. And so for each and every person watching here, what is your vision? Like, why are you doing this every day? Why do you give your time, your energy, your money, right, for this limited time we have to be here on planet Earth? What do you want your life to look like? You know, I've been having a lot of these conversations recently, and so much is possible. And as American citizens, we are so privileged, even British. I mean, and I say American because I'm American. And yesterday I had two conversations with my sister, and I were at a cafe, and one couple came and sat to the left of us, and the husband was 78, the wife was 70. And then as we were wrapping up, another couple from America came and sat next to us. They were a younger couple. She just graduated from law school. He was in real estate development. And the couple that was sitting to our left, they live in Paris for 2 months out of the year, and then they live in Alabama for the rest of the year. The other couple, they live in New Jersey, and they had just come from the south of France, and they were in Paris for a few days. And we were just talking about life, and it's so much is available. Like, if you just know what you want and you go create it. So the vision is really getting clear and letting yourself want, right? That sounds so basic, but how many, and I know so many women in the room have not really let themselves sit with their wants and hunger for it and visualize it and like marinate in the thought and start to create the feeling space of it here and now so that it comes in quicker. So these are some of the strategies that I use to help me to feel good throughout the day, reboot me throughout the day, keep me motivated, have me waking up, getting out of the bed the next day, right? When maybe I don't want to, and you know, and sometimes maybe I will stay in the bed a little longer, right? That's another strategy. So those are some, and there are many others. There are so many ways to keep yourself feeling good and, you know, overcoming some, you know, bad news or bad week, because it's the reality of business, and you got to know who you are and what you can fall back on to keep you going when it ain't so pretty.
Fantastic. Naima, as a woman in business, when you first started out, did you find it daunting or did you find it difficult in this male-dominated world of business?
When I first started out, no, because I was surrounded by women at that time. But what happened is before I was in the coaching space, I did network marketing. Like, I've done a lot of different entrepreneurial endeavors, and I was mentored by a man for a couple years. And I live in a patriarchal society. Like, we live in a patriarchal society. So the messages that we get and the way things run on a normal basis is very masculine for the most part. So there's just being raised in a patriarchal society and then being mentored by a man for some time. And it was just all about hustle, grind, go, goals, focus, determination, you know, just the attitude. And like when we would have our meetings, it was all that. And I put up with that for a while because that's all I knew, but it's just not sustainable. You can do that for a short period of time, but if you plan to be successful for the long term, like I plan to do, it's not going to work for women. It's just not going to work. So we need to find ways, know who we are, follow the rhythms of our bodies, and noticing when we come alive, when we feel drained, and start to work our lives and our businesses around that versus trying to plow through and push ourselves through in this hard masculine way. It doesn't work. And I get so much more done in a joyful way, in a good, you know, in a way that just works when I allow myself to be true to my movement and who I am versus ignoring sensations and things and plowing through. So to answer your question, no, in the beginning of coaching, no, because I was surrounded by females. But I know it because I was mentored by a man and I was raised by a single mother who was just such a hard worker for so long.
Wow, that's great. And would you say you're emotionally intelligent? So you're switched on to people's emotions. You can
Yes.
you can really judge them.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. And it's necessary if you're going to be in the helping space, helping people. The only way you can really help people is helping yourself first, and which means you have to have very high self-awareness. And self-awareness is a matter of emotional intelligence. And there's levels to emotional intelligence too. So you've read some of my articles, you see some of the depths that I go. And so I'm a deep woman. I like to work with other deep women, deep men too. I mean, it's very nourishing for me. And so emotional intelligence allows us to have much larger impact in the world because we can handle it. I see that people who are less emotionally intelligent have a harder time handling life. So, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So just to wrap this up, for the guys at home, where can we find you? Where do we look for you? Where are you on media?
Yeah, so I am active on Facebook. Our website is, so I'll give you two ways. One, first of all, the way right now to, if you're in the UK or in or around the UK and you want to connect further, I recommend you go to morethanenoughmoneytour.com. Morethanenoughmoneytour.com. That's the website to get tickets for the event in London, August 8th. So that's that way. Other than that, I'm on Facebook. And on Facebook, you'll see the link to our website and content and tons of videos. And there's just a lot there. So that's what I recommend people do. Go to the website if they want to come to the event and get their tickets. And I want to offer a bonus too. So that's one. And then on Facebook, if you want to be able to look at videos and content and other things that's being put out on a weekly basis.
Fantastic. And then what we'll do afterwards is I'll drop all the links there as well, so people can come and visit you, ask questions, connect with yourself, and get to know you a little bit deeper.
Great. Can I give the bonus now, Steve?
Please do. Fire away.
So this bonus actually expired on Friday, but because I know I'm here with your people and obviously they're just now finding out about it, I want to give them the opportunity. So for today and today only, and this is really special, like I said, because it already expired, what we offer is for everyone who buys their ticket to the More Than Enough Money event today and today only, you are going to get 15 minutes with me, a multiple six-figure wealth coach who went from $7 to multiple six figures in 3 years. How you can ask me any question you want to, any question you want to around wealth creation, around shame, around navigating relationships with family and peers, around growing your business, around handling problem clients, about dealing with the sales conversation where you're afraid to quote your prices, anything and everything. You will get a 15-minute call with me to ask me any question you want when you buy your ticket to the More Than Enough Money event today and today only. So that's the bonus for your viewers.
That is a fantastic bonus. Thank you so much.
You're very
It's
welcome.
been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, Naima.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure being interviewed by you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the listeners for tuning in. And don't forget, guys, that is an absolute super bonus. Please take advantage of this from an amazing woman. The tour is coming in on August the 8th. And we look forward to seeing more of you over social media. Guys, please feel free to connect. Thank you, Naima.
Steve. Bye, everybody.